first off, congratulations on being part of the administration's senatorial slate for next year. We heard that the president called you just last week. What was that conversation like?
Well, he invited me, asked me actually if I wanted to join the administration senatorial lineup. And I said baka gusto mo kaming tulungan tulad doon sa DSWD. So di naman ako nakatanggi. I said, yes, Mr. President, I will.
So, Kong Tulfo, you were okay to leave the House already. Now you're moving to the Senate.
Yes, because I was invited by the president and sabi niya na pwede silang tulungan, particularly sa Senate. So I said, okay, Mr. President, I accepted the invitation.
There is now a very real possibility that there will be three of you brothers in the Senate because, of course, Senator Raffy is there. Tapos you and Ben have been topping the senatorial preference surveys by various groups. What do you think the dynamic would be like if it ends up that there are three of you in the Senate?
Well, asahan na people what we usually do. Of course, yung ginagawa namin, helping the needy ones, yun ang magiging mga batas kasi nag-usap ka kami ni Tol Raffy. Napag-usapan din namin ni Tol Ben noon pa. He was saying, yun naman talaga ang focus lagi ng family namin is public service. Hindi namin nakakalimutan, first and foremost, serve the public. So I guess doon din tatakbo yun. Pero for me, sinabihan din kami ng Pangulo, lahat kami na 12 candidates na to focus, ganun pa rin sa poverty alleviation kung po pwede, the laws that we will be filing or the bills na dapat nakasentro sa poverty alleviation, economic growth, and much more.
Kong Erwin, who are you closer to between Ben and Senator Raffy?
Magkasunod kami kasi ni Senator Raffy, so I'm closer with Senator Raffy. He is 3 years older than I am.
Hindi naman po kayo nag-aaway-away. There's no disagreements, usually.
Well, pag siblings, of course, may mga discussions. We were trained, we were disciplined by our father na always obey first yung mga mas matanda sa'yo. You do not disagree in front of him. You go to, parang may chain of command sa amin. You go to the mom, kung hindi ma-resolve ng mom, or elder brother mo na, Mon. Kung hindi kaya resolve ni Mon, to the mom, and kung hindi kaya yung mom, to my dad. So yung pinaka parang Supreme Court namin is our dad.
Si Ben Tulfo, bakit po nag-independent? Naanyayahan din po siya ng presidente kaya na sumama dito sa administration ticket? Or is that strategic discussion on amongst you three?
I don't know. Hindi naman pinag-usapan yan. Actually, siya was kind of like last month pa. He was already very willing to run sa Senate. Ako naman, I was happy with what I'm doing in Congress, being the Deputy Majority Leader for Communications. Okay na sa akin yun until I was invited last week with the President and asked if I want to join the administration lineup.
Okay, Kong Erwin, you and your brother Ben have been topping a lot of senatorial surveys. How big of a factor was this po in your decision to finally decide to run for Senate?
Actually, sa akin, no eh. It's more, it's kind of scary nga because it's like a challenge. People are really rooting for you, di ba? And they're banking on you. So, next thing, if you will take this challenge, kagaya right now, I did join the administration slate, tapos number 1 ka. So people are expecting na you will do something dahil iboboto kanila, ay gusto kanila maging senator. So the next move now is it's on you, di ba? Na you have to do what you're expected to do. Binoto ka namin, so we're expecting na you will work for us, you will do something for us. So it's really a challenge rather than maging complacent tayo. So kailangan ipakita mo, panindigan mo yun, gusto ka ng mga tao. So gawin mo yung gusto nila na whatever it is na they want you to be their representative in the Senate.
Well, talking about the work that you've been doing, you guys have been busy discussing the budget, but I want to know your stance on specifically the impeachment complaint being drafted now by Bayan against the Vice President. Do you think that the failure to explain where the confidential funds went merits an impeachment complaint?
It is their right, Gretchen, to file this impeachment complaint, the opposition. Na-expect na namin they will do that. Pero the problem now will be, or the question now is, may form ba and substance ba yan? Lulusot ba yan sa... Kasi ang Secretary General namin ang tatanggap dyan, then titignan yan, hihimayin ng Committee on Justice namin. So may proseso pa, medyo mahaba-habang proseso. Doon pa lang kaagad sa meron bang form and substance para ituloy yan, para magtungo yan sa plenaryo, I don't know. So pag-uusapan yan ng Committee on Justice. Pero may karapatan naman kahit sino, Gretchen, na mag-file kung anong nakikita nila. Kaya kami magfa-file nitong impeachment because hindi siya sumipot, hindi niya sinagot. Yung mga questions ng Congress, how did she spend the budget? Well, nasa sa kanila yon. Yung nga lang, yung proving it, ika nga, yun yung mahirap doon. How will you prove that? Or meron bang yung impeachment na ifa-file ng bayan muna, may laman ba, ika nga, kakatigan ba ng Committee on Justice ng Congress?
Well, do you agree that it is a betrayal of public trust? Her failure to attend when she was invited 3 times, committee level, dito sa plenary, yung hindi po siya sumipot, sapat ba na sinasabi niya this is an orchestrated political attack against her? Or what did you feel? I mean, her failure, her office's failure to be there during those debates.
Majority ng Congress, when she did that, lalo na yung last one na hearing, then she stood up and she refused to take an oath. Karamihan or majority ng mga congressmen and women were frustrated and were kind of upset. Parang nabastos daw yung Kongreso. So, yung sa impeachment naman, I believe I will just leave that to the Committee on Justice. Ayaw ko naman silang pangunahan. Pero in reality, medyo maraming nagalit. Maraming congressman ang nainis dahil parang nainsulto nga raw sila. Parang she's taking exception na I will not do that. I will not take an oath. Pero meron kasi, kahit yung mga si Pinoy dati, took an oath doon sa Dengbaksya investigation. Ganon din si Pangulong Ramos in the 90s, yung tungkol dyan sa Manila Bay Area, yung tinatawag na yung reclamation. And then si Erap Estrada also took an oath when he faced the Senate.
Well, I mean, so a lot of congressmen got angry because of that. But were there impeachment talks to begin with? Because that's what the vice president was alleging, right? She's always said now all of these hearings are just part of a coordinated political attack against her to take her down, that you guys are reading from a script now, that there is a narrative that you're following, etc., etc. So is there merit to what she's saying?
I'm not a lawyer, actually. Pero looking at it right now, yung Committee on Justice will be the one to decide kung meron bang form substance, meron bang culpable violation of the Constitution. Kasi kung titignan mo, yung ginawa niya na hindi siya nag-take an oath, is it culpable violation of the Constitution? Pero may mga nagsasabi kasi kami mga kasama na, paano naman ito kung during breaks na nag-uusap ang mga congressman, why can't she explain saan napunta yung 125 million na intelligence fund? Yun ang dapat niyang sagutin. Hindi na pa naman niya nasasagot. So I don't know really dito sa Committee on Justice namin kung doon nila titignan yun na how did you spend this? Medyo mabigat yun na hindi mo masagot kung saan mo ginasta yung pondo mo. Pero others are saying na yung merely dahil hindi ka nag-oath, dahil binastos mo ang Congress, I don't think so. Pero pagdating dun sa spending yung budget mo and then you cannot explain it, then again, that's a different story. Pero that's I will leave that to our Committee on Justice to decide,
No, I meant,
ladies.
Kong Erwin, I meant, is it true that there were always impeachment talks against her? That this is part of
May
a totoo?
ilan, to be honest with you, to be frank with you, after that incident, yung ayaw niyang mag-take ng oath, there were some, pero hindi siya as a whole na tingin ng mga tao na pinagkakaisahan na siya ng mga party leaders. I really don't know kasi when the speaker met with, usually mga ganyan desisyon, lahat ng party leaders pinupulong muna ni Speaker Romualdez. Tulad nung kay Teves, there was a meeting. I was there. I attended that meeting. Pero itong meeting recently by the Speaker with the party leaders, yung pinag-usapan lang nila yung budget, kung zero ba or ibibigay ba. And karamihan nagsabi na bawasan, pero the Speaker said like, no, ibigay na lang natin, sundan na lang natin yung binigay ng Congress kay former Vice President Leni Robredo. Tapos yung mga hinihingi niya na extras about social services, pwede niyang ihingi sa DSWD, sa Department of Health.
So there were impeachment talks after she refused to take the oath, but before that, were there talks? Because she's been alleging this for months.
Not that I know of. Pag sa mga break, usually na pag-uusapan, nag-meet kami doon sa North Lounge or South Lounge. Pag mga break, nagko-coffee, may merienda. Hindi na pag-uusapan yan eh. Pero itong yung araw na hindi niya nasagot, may mga nagsasabi. Pero collectively, yung maraming nagsasabi, wala eh. May paisa-isa na kailangan i-impeach yan. Pero it doesn't mean to say, pag sa isang table, 6 sila ng mga congressman, pag may sinabi siyang gano'n, agree yung 5. Hindi naman gano'n. Pero maririnig mo na kailangan nating i-impeach yan.
Hey, Congressman, the budget got passed yesterday in 8 days in total. Kayo po ba ay masaya dun sa naipasa na budget? Meron po kayong mga, sana tinaasan natin to. For example, the defense budget was cut from 200+ billion to 70 billion. What did you think about the budget that was passed?
Okay naman. My only concern was like yung Philippine Coast Guard, sana mas tinaasan natin ang budget because sila yun sa front line dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Mas kailangan ng budget ng Philippine Coast Guard, ng Department of Transportation, dun nga sa Philippine Coast Guard to buy equipment and then mga surveillance, search and rescue also. Pag may mga calamities tayo, sila nakikita natin. I think dapat yung sa Coast Guard mas tinaasan, mas nilakihan ng budget nila yung kung may kinatman dito sa isang department, inilipat nila sa DOTR for the Philippine Coast Guard.
And then, Kong Erwin, we're running out of time, but just very quickly, let me circle back to politics. When are you guys planning to submit or file your certificates of candidacy?
Actually, that's a good question. And some are saying na baka sama-sama yung coalition. Pero based on experience, when I was still covering COMELEC, parang isa-isa lang naman mga senator. So kung nagkaganon, then sasabay na lang ako doon sa party list namin, CAS, which will be on October 6th.
Okay, so at this point, likely October 6th, but you're not sure yet. Okay.
No.
Okay, abangan namin. Thank you so much for your time tonight. That was House Deputy Majority Leader, Congressman Erwin Tulfo.